parents are rich, rich, rich. So why don't they just pay for everything that their daughter wants and needs? This is from a junior Bert Show listener.
Hey, I'm what you guys would consider a junior listener. I'm 17 and a senior in high school. I'm really excited about prom. It's a milestone in my life, and I want to make it really special. The problem is, my parents don't want to splurge for the occasion. They're stupid wealthy and can afford it, but they're not willing to give me the prom of my dreams. No, seriously. We're rich. I want my parents to pay for my prom dress, which costs $675.
Oh, God, what?
Shoes, which would be another $150. Of course, I need accessories and professional hair and makeup services.
Of course.
And also, because of the special occasion, I would prefer it if my parents would pay for the limo services since my family is so loaded.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unfair of me to want these things, especially considering how much my parents earn. I just want to have the best night ever with my friends. Why would they want to deprive me of that? I'm a good kid who never gets in trouble, and I make good grades. Minus that one C I got in calculus, but that's because my teacher sucked.
Of course it is. 100% it is. Right.
Could you give me some advice on how to convince my parents to pay for these things? I'd really appreciate your help.
I feel like there's a lot missing here. Have they just said absolutely not to all of this? Have they agreed to some of it? So some of this is missing to me here a little bit. And just not knowing the parent side of things, it makes it a little difficult to give advice on.
Yeah, this is one of those where you need both sides of the story. Like, it's okay, so we've heard from the high school senior. It would be nice to get the parent side of the story.
Yeah, because, this kind of entitlement right here, I don't know that, my knee-jerk reaction is I don't know that you can blame the 17-year-old for that. She's been taught that. So I think if the parents are having a problem with her asking for a $675 prom dress and
that's a designer dress right there, by the way.
and shoes for $150. This didn't come out of nowhere. I'm guessing, I'm assuming there's been a history here of where she did get some stuff because she has this attitude. And as a parent, I think sometimes we got to look at ourselves when our kids are acting like this.
How did you handle prom with Hayden? Because Hollis hasn't had a prom yet.
He didn't make a big deal. You know Hayden.
Yeah.
He didn't make a really big deal out of it. And Hollis, if he does end up going and he wants all this stuff,
yeah,
I'd be willing to split it with him, but he's going to have to earn some of it himself. For sure, it's no different than those super expensive shoes that he wanted to buy when we were in England. I said, you sure you want to do that? Because they were $500. And I said, look, dude, you're working, it's your money. He didn't have it on him. I said, if you want them, you can get them, but you have to pay me that money back. And if you don't by April 1st, then the Bank of Bert is charging you interest on it because those are real world ways to handle it, right? Just can't give them that. And I have done that in the past. I have a pretty humble kid, though, and he understands how good he has it. But there are ways to compromise here to make sure that they're just not entitled to all of this. And she, by the way, I am glad she's saying that they are rich. Your parents are rich. You are not. You are busted broke. You got nothing. Zero.
I want to see your parents' tax returns. Like, when you say rich,
yeah.
like, what does that mean? Like, are you going out to Outback Steakhouse and getting a dessert every time you go out? Or are you going to, like, a 5-star restaurant every weekend? Because that's very different situations.
I'm imagining if she's saying they're super wealthy and they're rich, we're talking about, like, multimillionaire.
Yeah, I guess as a girl, I don't think the entitlement is okay at all. So I'm not saying she has any right to ask for her parents for this kind of money. I understand the pressure from a girl's standpoint. Like, I remember when I was going to prom, there was a lot of pressure to have a certain designer, especially if you go to a school where if the girls are all rich, you don't want to stand out. You don't want to look out of place. So I have some empathy to that extent, but I also don't think it's okay to just expect your parents to pay $1,000 for your prom.
Crazy.
I do agree with what Bert said as far as the parents probably have played a part in this, but this is a perfect time to create a boundary because if she's this entitled in this email, something tells me she's like this every day.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with what Shaq once said when it was a whole controversy about it, but he said exactly what you said. When they asked him how does he deal with having so much money and then his kids, and he said it's simple. I'm rich. They're not. I worked for this, and you will do the same. I will help you, but I will not provide everything for you. So I think that's what the parents need to handle.
You know, it's a superficial struggle here, but I think in some families, you know what, I'll just point to myself. We grew up broke. I was broke. Like, I remember my mom, when my dad left for California, her being super excited when the food stamps came, right? So that kind of broke. So anything that I have now, and I've done pretty well for myself, but I've busted my ass to get it, right? So I can provide for me. I can provide for my kids also. So there's a part of me that wants them never to live the way that I did.
Yeah.
So I tend to throw things at them in a knee-jerk reaction. I've really had to catch myself going, yeah, I can pay for that. But what are they learning by that? Nothing at all. So in a case like this, she got something going on here because the parents are saying no now. So the lessons, they're trying to create those borders. Just hadn't happened yet, right?
So, yeah, we can't help you with advice on
Nope,
tell
you're on your own,
parents.
sister.
Not at all.
Came to the wrong show, babe. Sorry.
Yep, sorry.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.